Hey, I'm doing this video for you to help you figure out how to determine turn pressures on dissimilar volume tanks. You should go back and review the prior video I did on how to determine baseline numbers for tanks. In this example, we have two divers using two different sizes of tanks. This diver is using a set of twin 104s filled to 3600 psi, and from our previous video we know that the baseline for a set of double 104s is 7.8 cubic feet per 100 psi. The other diver is using low pressure 85s. They're also filled to 3600, and the baseline for that set of tanks is 6.4 cubic feet per 100 psi. The smaller tanks are the controlling tanks. What that means is that the smaller volume tanks can use a full 1/3 of the pressure to determine their turn pressure. In this example, if the smaller of the two sets of tanks is filled to 3600, that diver can use 1200, and that's their usable gas pressure. So the turn pressure then becomes 2400 psi, which means that when the diver reaches 2400 psi, they should turn the dive around. To calculate the usable volume that diver can use, you simply multiply 12, which is the number of hundreds he can use, 1200, times 6.4, and that equals 76.8 cubic feet of usable gas. So that diver can use 1200 psi, which is 76.8 cubic feet. Now let's go to the large set of tanks. That diver cannot use a full 1/3 of his pressure because that pressure would be a greater volume than the other set of tanks. So in order to determine how much pressure he can use to match 76.8 cubic feet, we have a relatively simple formula here that tells us that we should take the small usable volume, put it over the big tank baseline number, and then multiply that result by 100. And in this case, we get 76.8, which is the usable gas volume for the 85s. We divide that by the 7.8, which is this big tank's baseline, multiply this times 100, and that gives us 984 psi of usable gas. And that 984 psi is the same as 76.8 cubic feet in these tanks. So to determine the turn pressure, we take 3600, subtract 984 from it, and we get a turn pressure of 2,616 psi, and we simply round that number to 2600 psi.